Welcome to our online English class. In today's class, we are going to learn a new lesson, the wooden toy. It is an interesting story and I'm sure you will all like it. Come on, let's start learning. Students, take page number 99 and read the first two paragraphs along with me. Once there was a village circled by mountains and many big trees. It was the home to many wild animals, especially wild dogs. They used to hunt not only the animals in the forest but also the domestic animals in the village. This affected the farmer who lived near the edge of the forest with his son the most. Mugund was the son of the farmer. He was good at creating many things. Every day he went into the forest to collect dry wood. He used to make dolls using the dry wood. Mugund's art was very famous in the town. Children used to play with his dolls, mostly known as Marapachi Bommai. There was a village surrounded by mountains and big trees. It was a place for many wild animals and wild dogs to live. There lived a farmer on the edge of the forest. So, most of the time, these wild dogs and wild animals, they not only hunt the animals inside the jungle, it used to attack the animals in this village too. And this farmer had a son named Mugund. Mugund was a boy who used to make beautiful things out of wood. He used to collect dry woods from the forest and he used to make beautiful dolls out of it. His art was very famous in the town. Children used to play with his dolls. Those dolls made of wood are known as Marapachi Bommai. The picture of Marapachi Bommai is given on the screen. Okay students, come, let's read the next paragraph now. Long ago, the wild animals hunted Mugund's mother. That incident made Mugund hate wild animals. In memory of his mother, he carved a wooden statue of his mother and prayed every day. One night, he woke to hear his mother's words, "Do your part in eradicating the use of plastics through your art, because plastic is a great risk to the environment." So, he started selling wooden toys at a cheap rate. He was also clever at making handicrafts. He learnt the art from his grandfather. In the beginning, he made dolls for children using dry woods. Then, he was making statues of any photo that was shown to him. Mugund's mother was killed by wild animals long back. So, Mugund hates wild animals. He made a big statue of his mother, wooden statue of his mother, and he prayed to her every day. One day, Mugund heard his mother's voice while sleeping. It is said that to eradicate the use of plastic to protect the environment through his art. Mugund started selling toys at cheap rate. He learned this handicraft from his grandfather. Initially, Mugund made dolls only for children with wood. But later he started making statues. If a photo is given to Mugund, Mugund will carve a statue of the photo in the wood. Come on, now let's read the next paragraph. His father owned nothing but a flock of sheep and a piece of land. Also, he worked hard to keep the farm running. He was rearing some animals like goat, cow, and hen. His father took all the cattle to pasture every day. When he returned home, he would always count all the animals. One day, when his father returned, he saw that some animals were missing. His father was unable to sleep because the losses of the animals kept increasing. Mugund was worried about his father. He had to do something. Mugund's father had a piece of land, flock of sheep, cow, goat and hens. Every day he used to take his cattle to the pasture and bring it back home. After bringing back home, he will count the animals to check whether they were all right in number. But one day when he was counting, he found that animals were missing. He was worried. After that, every day the count of animals started decreasing and Mukund's father was very sad. Mukund was also worried seeing his father and he thought he had to do something to stop the missing of animals. Come on, let's see what Mukund did to help his father. He had an idea. He made a wooden drum because the massive noise from the drum would help his father to drive out the wild animals. Mukund's father was happy because the drum threatened the animals. But the animals came back as soon as the drumming is stopped. His father could not be awake all night. So the wild animals started attacking only at night. The restlessness and worry made the father ill. The next day, Mukund went into the forest to find a hollow log of cedar, but he could not find it. His friends told him to cut the raw wood, but he refused. Mukund got an idea. He made a drum. The sound of the drum chased the animals away. The wild animals were threatened by the massive sound of the drum. Mukund's father was very happy because his animals were safe. But there was a problem in that. When the drumming sound was stopped, these wild animals will come back. And Mukund's father, he couldn't stay awake the whole night. So till that he will take care of his animals, but throughout the night he couldn't stay awake. So when he sleeps, the drumming sound will be stopped, and when the drumming sound was stopped, these animals used to come back and attack his cattle. So now Mukund's father was very depressed and he became ill. Mukund went inside the forest in search of hollow cedar. He searched everywhere but he couldn't get. So finally his friend suggested him to cut raw wood. From the beginning of the story I told you Mukund would make dolls only from dry woods. He will never cut trees. So here when his friends insisted him to cut raw wood, he refused. Now let's read the next paragraph to see whether this Mukund got hollow cedar. Mukund felt that his mother was still living in each tree. At last they found some wood and brought it home. Mukund went to bed a little early. His father was beating the drums to drive all the animals away. Mukund felt that his mother is still living in each tree. That was the reason he refused to cut trees. Finally, Mukund got a dry log of wood. He brought it home and that night he slept early. Mukund's father started beating the drums to keep the wild animals away from his cattle. Come on, now let's read the next paragraph. Suddenly the sound of the drums stopped. Mukund's father was tired and he slept. Nearly 25 animals got attacked that night. Then Mukund thought of designing some wooden tigers and some wooden people to place on the farm, so the animals would be afraid as the people were still awake. From that day onwards, the farmer and his son had a good sleep. Most of the landowners ordered wooden animals from Mukund. They wanted to save their crops and farms. Soon, Mukund started selling toys to all corners of the land. This led to a demand for wooden dolls over plastic ones. He was happy that he was able to take part in saving the world through his art. Mukund's father slept on that day. That night, 25 animals from his cattle was killed. Mughal thought of an idea and he made tiger and human images in wood. From that day, the other wild animals, they didn't come to his farm. They thought that their real human beings were standing outside. And from that day, Mughal and his father slept very well. They slept peacefully. Seeing this, many landlords ordered for animals and human structures made of wood to Mughal. Mughal was very happy and he started selling. Moreover, Mughal's toy dolls became very famous and many people started buying. Mughal felt very happy that he was able to save the nature from this plastic pollution by making wooden toys. Dear children, let's to learn some art form. By the way, to check your understanding, today's homework is given on the board. Kindly write your homework and send your homework to your teacher. With this note, I am winding up today's class. Bye.